plants have to do about language, have to do with language? Well, quite a bit more than you might think. And we're a little spotty right here. Let's shift. Well, you guys got a little preview of some of my newest bonsais over here. And first, a little introduction to my bonsais. This one over here, the largest one, this is my Dawn Redwood, and she is somewhere probably around 15 to 20 years old. And then this one here, these are my newest, and let's set you guys down and pick them up. This is my maple, and she is about 10 years old, and you can see she's had a little bit of training. We have a very nice straight stem and very nice. We're getting to the language part, I promise. And one more maple. So this one's pretty cool because it's got like a little bit of a root in here. Well, of course they have a root, but it's got the trunk that is growing up in there, so you guys can see. And then we've got, oh man, what's the name? Chichi, but ginkgo, ginkgo, and so these are all, these three anyway. These are Japanese. Well, I believe this one's also Japanese, but I'm not a bonsai expert. And this one is about 2 to 3 years old. So what do these little plants have to do with learning language? Well, just like as we're learning a language, you know, let's back us up a little bit. Learning a language is a very long process. It is a lifelong process, and it is full of changes and growth and all the different things, really. All of the things. This little guy, oof, my hair is on him, 10 years old, and it's still just barely getting started. And let's look at my Spanish, for example. My Spanish, I've been practicing for about this long. So this tree is like my Spanish. And, you know, it's nice. It's gotten started, and it's developing a form of its own, but still has a lot of work to go. It's got a long way to go. It's got more training, and it's still going to be developed, and it's never going to be finished until, you know, the day that it dies. It's never going to be finished. It's going to keep growing and developing, and the more guidance and support it has, the more training, the more it can develop and refine. And if it doesn't, it will just, you know, fizzle. It'll go out, become its own thing, and it will need care to come back to start again. Just like if you leave a language for however long, you're going to come back to it, and you're going to be like, oh man, this needs some work before I can get it going again, before I can get to where I want it to be. And it takes time. So our plants are really quite a bit like learning a language. And take Dawn here, for example. Dawn down here is about, what did I say, 10 to 15, somewhere around there. It's an estimate. I really am not sure exactly how old she is, but she needs a little bit of work. And I've excuse me, I've kept her alive for this last year that I've had her, but I haven't worked on her much at all. I haven't worked on her at all. I've just kind of kept her alive. I've kept her watered. I've done the minimum maintenance. And now it's going to be time to get in there and do some trimming. So go through, trim a few of these crazy branches, and just kind of, you know, make her look nice again. So you can see the stems, you can see the trunk, and maybe add a little bit of wire training in there. But it's okay, you know, because I've kept her going enough to where she doesn't need to be completely revived. She just needs a little bit of work to get her like up to par. So very, very much like, you know, my Spanish has always kind of like stayed there. My Spanish has always been right about there. and it's never really gone too far away. My French, on the other hand, is like a wilted plant that has just barely been hanging on, that I have revived, and it is beginning to blossom again. And you know what? Actually, it's a bit like this plant over here, except a little bit further along. But and I'm not even sure what this one's called. But my French has been a bit like this guy down here, as you can see, is coming back. Got some new sprouts on here, some new buds. It's coming back, but this could be a good representation of my French, because it's needed a lot of work. So that one I'm bringing back too. And yeah. And then of course a brand new one, and you'll have a whole new life getting started that you can make it into whatever you want it to be. So my newest ones over here, these are going to be whatever I would like them to be. This one I feel like is probably the youngest, and it's like my mandarin. So my mandarin, you know, it's beginning, it's got some little buds coming out here, some fresh starts, and it's going to be whatever I created it to. So this is how plants are like learning a language.